Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video with me, Sherman. Today guys, we're just going to be doing a little bit of talking about my opinion on why I think that Elder Scrolls is still one of the best free-to-play or buy-to-play or whatever kind of MMO you're looking for on the market. And a lot of people might argue this point, which is fine. You can do that. I'm not going to argue back. Everyone has the right to their own opinion and their own choices. This is mine. Now, a lot of people will say, why do you say that Elder Scrolls is one of the best MMOs of the market? Well, coming from a casual player perspective, Elder Scrolls is the only game that allows you the freedom to play the game how you want. And what I mean by that is, you create the character you want to play, you play how you want, and you can progress through the whole entire game's content besides maybe some dungeons and raiding. And I say some dungeons because some dungeons, especially DLC dungeons, can be very difficult and more challenging than the non-DLC dungeons or the base game dungeons. I've been playing Elder Scrolls on and off since the free-to-play, pretty much non-stop actually after free-to-play up until about 6 months ago when I started to wane off of it and started really reaching out into other games and things like that. But I still played the game heavily. I still play it even today very heavily, and that's due to the fact that there's just so much to do. Now, I will say that one of the things that irritates me about the game is this right here. Is like, oh, you've got all these things you've got to collect on a daily basis. Log in to do this. That's something else you don't have to do, but a lot of people do, is they'll log in daily just to get their daily login stuff, and then they log out, and then they only play like maybe 2 or 3 days a week. I have friends who log in daily just to get their rewards, and they don't even play the game. Like, they just log in, they get their daily rewards. And why would it be a problem? Well, it's not. That's the thing, is ESO is one of those games you can pick up and play, leave for 6 months, come back, and there might have been some changes to your class or your skills and things like that, but it's not enough to change how the game plays or how the game works to where you can come and go as you want, and you can really do some deep diving into the game's story, the campaign stuff. I mean, it really depends on what kind of content you like. Like, I know PvPers who will leave the game for a long period of time, go play other games, come back, jump right back into PvP, and it's like nothing changed because nothing has changed. They get to experience the same stuff that they played before. The only difference is that now there might be new players in that area, you know, to face or whatever. When it comes to story content itself, nothing beats ESO's story content, in my opinion, besides Star Wars: The Old Republic. No MMO, not even Final Fantasy XIV, which a lot of people will argue with me. They'll say it has a really amazing story. It does have a really good story, but you have to get to the story. And that can be a problem for a lot of people. In ESO, it throws you right into it. In Star Wars: The Old Republic, it throws you right into the story. And a lot of people find that really interesting when you can dive into a story, especially in a game that's very casual friendly. Now, that's kind of the thing that makes ESO and like Star Wars: The Old Republic such good games, in my opinion, is they are very casual friendly. They are very friendly to players learning the MMO space, or people just looking for a place to play with a couple friends and just hang out, you know, just have a place to hang out and experience the content. These games are really good at that because of the fact that there might be level scaling, like in Star Wars. I have a lot of high-level characters. Most of the people I've been playing with lately are low-level characters. I mean, most of my friends and stuff are coming back to the game, haven't played in like 2-3 years. Their characters are sitting in their 30s or even a little lower. Some are sitting with higher level characters. But the point is that even though they're lower level, I can come back and join them and play with them through their stories and stuff and add to their experience of the game. Now, does it make the game easier if I come back and play with them? Yes and no. I mean, in Elder Scrolls, you'll see a difference because, you know, I'm at max champion level, and my character has a lot of gold level gear, but it doesn't mean that my character is so overpowered to theirs that my character doesn't struggle at times. It just means that the content's going to be a little bit easier for me because I've already experienced it. And that's the other thing that a lot of people forget about MMOs is when you play MMOs or play a game for so long, you start to learn like every mechanic you can about the game just from playing, just from your own basic experience of the game. And so you might fight something, like for example, I might go up and fight that ice dragon that's up there on that ridge. Well, I'll fight it 100 times. Does it change how the dragon war like fights? No. The dragon will always do the same repetitious things, so I can memorize and learn how to face that content. I can come back and fight that thing 100 times over, and I will become better at facing it because of the fact that I learn all of the little nuances about the dragon's mechanics and what it does and its different stuff. And that, to some people, is what they like about these types of games, like Elder Scrolls and World of Warcraft. And I wouldn't say World of Warcraft is casual friendly, but it's definitely player friendly. So, but here, I'm gonna go up here. I'm gonna fight this dragon with these people, just to kind of give a hand and stuff like that. Oh wow, that was exciting. I come in and I get one hit and it dies. Thanks, guys. But yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. Like once you fight a dragon or fight encounters in this game and you learn how to face him, the same can even be said for raids in this game or any game. It's just a matter of repetitious play and learning the encounter and learning how to fight it. You pick up on things, and eventually they get to the point where there's nothing in the content that becomes challenging because you've experienced so much of it. And that's where a lot of us get to in games, and it's kind of what causes burnout, is there's nothing challenging about the games anymore. A lot of people will say, oh, well, you don't raid. I don't raid not because I don't like to. I don't raid because I don't like the community that does. And it's not that I don't like them. I don't enjoy doing raiding. That's just it. I'm not a big fan of like 12-man content that takes a lot of time to prepare for and stuff like that. I like content I can just jump in and play. A lot of people do. So another question, or another thing that I've been asked here recently is why do you still consider ESO, like I said, the best game? So one, the graphics, you know, it's almost like they might be dated in some areas, but in the newer content, you can tell that the devs are actually putting their time in and their effort in to make the content look good, make it, you know, something memorable. Like, I will never forget my first time coming into Southern Elsewhere. And as you guys can see, it says talk to Sai Sahan. I haven't even started the quest line here yet, because I want to take my time with it. It's one of those things. I've rushed myself so much in this game that I don't enjoy the content anymore, because I was always concerned with getting to max level. I was always concerned with that aspect of the game, because people were constantly pushing for everyone to be at the highest level possible. The thing you have to understand about Elder Scrolls and what makes it such a good casual friendly game is this: I can go anywhere in the game from level 1 to level 50, and I can still enjoy the content. There is some aspects of the game that are going to be a lot more challenging, like dungeons, trials, and things like that for my character as I progress. But the more I play the content, the better I become at it. And a lot of people say, oh, well, you don't have a lot of content done on your map here. I have everything done except for Southern Elsewhere. Like, I've done all the content. Yes, I might not have every trial done or every achievement under the sun. I'm not an achievement person. Achievements don't interest me. Like, they don't. Like, if it rewards me with, like, a die or you know, special armor piece, I don't go chasing after it. I earn things as I progress. And I've always been that way in every game. And if I feel like I want to achieve something or earn something, I will go out of my way to do that. But I've actually, like, I'm not as bad as I used to be with that. I will admit in Destiny 2 it's a different story, because a lot of that stuff is achievement, like, earned. Like, you want a special gun, well, you gotta go out and you gotta play the crap out of certain content to earn it. Well, I'll do that. I will literally play that content until I earn what I'm looking for or get what I want. But I do the same thing in this. Like, when it comes to gear, if there's gear I need for my character, I will go out of my way to earn that gear. And I've already done that with every single one of my characters. I've gone out of my way to earn the gear I want to use. But casual playing in this game, a lot of people think casual players don't do the hardcore stuff like raiding or PvP or anything like that. Casual players play whatever. Like, there is no, like, hardcore or non-hardcore. You play the game. And if something's super challenging to you, you get a friend to help you. You get friends to come and aid you in that fight. And it just makes the game more interesting to the casual player. And I think that's one thing that Elder Scrolls and Bethesda or ZeniMax got right with this, was they really focused on the idea of not only the casual player, but the average player, more than they did on the hardcore in-game player. And it's not because they were trying to create a game that was casual friendly. They were trying to create a game that was relative to anyone playing it. Like I said, at level 1, you can go from your starting area to any area in the world if you have access to it or you have a friend that's there. Like, if I had a friend who was playing in Morrowind or Vardenfell and I wanted to join them at any level, I could, because the content of the game is set that way. It's set to where you can play anywhere in the game regardless of level. And I really think that's what makes this game such a good game. Now, don't get me wrong, just like any MMO, this game has its faults. It has its pros and its cons. And in my opinion, ESO has more pros than any game and less cons, even though there is a lot of cons that you could go off of. Like, I know a lot of people are really upset with the housing system in this game, because they don't give you enough, you know, inventory space in a house to put everything you'd want in it. There's a lot of people who feel like this game needs more RP elements, and it needs to be less cash shop focused and more on player earning focused. So, like, mounts and stuff should be earned in game and not so much like I have to purchase it and different things like that. And I agree, there's a lot of things that this game could do better, but you also have to look at it. The game is buy to play with an optional subscription, and I would say that optional subscription is optional unless you become hardcore into crafting, and then I would say a sub is a lot better. But even then, like, you can sub for like 3 months and then cancel your sub, or, you know, like, get a sub for 3 months, play to earn a bunch of materials, and then just cancel your sub, and you could live off of what you have in your crafting bag for a while, but then everything else is going to wind up in your bank. So it's a little bit better if you're going to, like, be a hardcore crafter, get a sub. Like, that's my suggestion. If you're just going to play the game to get gear and play with the gear that drops in the game, and maybe even have a crafted set or two, like, you don't need to have a crafting bag. You don't need that kind of stuff. You can actually just do it all with free to play, or buy to play, if you will. That's the other thing I like about ESO is it doesn't require you to have certain things. A lot of people will say it does, but it doesn't. Like, I played this game for 2 years, almost 3 years, before I even paid a sub. And I was buying content as it released. So, like, if something came out, let's say Morrowind came out, I bought it. I didn't pay a sub and pay for that on top of it. I just went and bought Morrowind and kept playing. And I did that for a long time. And I learned to manage my resources really well and everything. But that was through experience. That was through playing and learning how to manage all that stuff while still playing the game and enjoying it. So, but yeah, there is definitely a big difference between ESO and other MMOs. And I think that anyone who's ever played Elder Scrolls would agree that this game has way more freedom than any MMO on the market. Like, a lot of people say, why do you play other games like Star Wars, or why do you play Destiny, or when this game gives you so much more freedom? Well, I play those other games because there might be a lot of freedom in ESO, like in what you can do, but when you've experienced as much content as I have with, 12, 13 characters, eventually you start to get burned on that content and just want, like right now I'm honestly waiting for the next major chapter to drop, but I will still continue to pay my sub until the next chapter drops, and then I'm going to come back and just dive right back into the game and play up to that point, so I have something to keep me playing the game for a while. That's kind of what does it, is how much content can you derive from a game before you get bored. Right now, games like Star Wars The Old Republic, even though it's a lot older, I haven't done everything in that game. So that I'm actually enjoying a game that has content that I haven't completed. And then on top of that, there's other things. But yeah, I mean, I will always say that right now there is no other game on the market that can compete with ESO when it comes to freedom of play, freedom of choice, freedom to experience. Nothing. Like, I played Star Wars The Old Republic. I can't go from where I start to, say, Tatooine until I reach that level of content. I have to follow the game in a linear progression. ESO, there's linear story progression in each zone, but I don't have to follow the game in a linear system. I can go and play as I choose. And I think that's what makes ESO, again, a better game, is it does give you that freedom of choice to play the game how you want and experience the content how you want. I know a lot of people it'll turn off, but to me it's what makes the game really good. So, but that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I just wanted to do something kind of short and sweet today. I didn't really want to cover any builds or anything like that. I just wanted to talk a little bit about like ESO and bring you guys a different perspective, kind of point of view, like of what keeps me playing the game, what brings me back and why I keep playing. Because there is a lot of things that make me leave the game and then I'll come back. And I do this with a lot of games. I've done it with Champions Online over the years, DC Universe, even EverQuest. I've gone back to the original EverQuest from time to time, and EverQuest 2. Not so much in the past couple years, and that's mainly because I feel like Daybreak Games has just lost their edge with the game when it comes to EverQuest. Like, I'm ready for a new EverQuest. A lot of us are. But they just keep rehashing what they've already done. And I'm not saying that their formula is bad, but people would like to see EverQuest with graphics like this. Or even gameplay like this. But hey, I don't run those games. So, but yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, like I said. And if you did, you guys know what's coming next. Go ahead and hit that like button. If you guys want to see more videos by me, you can subscribe. And also, you can hit that little notification bell, and that will notify you when I post my videos. Other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a wonderful day, and this guy might see you in game. Bye.